In this video, we will talk about the mograph system in Cinema 4D. Mograph system in Cinema 4D are simply a collection of tools that is used to create motion graphics, okay? And some of the tools we've already discussed about. The cloner tool is one of the mograph system tools. Okay, so when you come to the menu bar, we have the mograph. When you click, it will review all the tools inside the mograph. Okay, then we have the cloner. We've already talked about it. The cloner generator is also part of the mograph pack, and we have the metrics, the fractal, Voronoi, and a whole lot. Okay, so let's take a look at this Voronoi fracture. It's a new mograph system. It's a new tool that has been added to the mograph system. It is used to fracture objects, okay, in Cinema 4D. Okay, so let's just create this Voronoi fracture. Okay, and let's start by creating a sphere. Okay, so we take a sphere, we create a sphere. Okay, so this is it. Okay, let's increase the size to maybe 36 of the sphere, and let's make the sphere a child of the Voronoi fracture. Now you see that the color of the sphere has changes. Okay, we have some different colors going on. Okay, this is just showing you where the fracture or the bricks is going to be. Okay, you can actually increase it. So with the Voronoi fracture selected, when you come to the sources here, we have the point distribution. This is the point that is using to distribute it. Okay, by default it creates a point distribution for you, and you can actually increase it. Okay, with this you can increase it. So it's 20 now, we can make it 50, and the more we make it, you see the bricks are becoming plenty. Okay, we can even go 100. Okay, and it keeps adding on and adding on, and you can use the seed to change, like randomize between the break points. Okay, and what this is really doing is actually breaking your object. Okay, so let's demonstrate it. Let's create a plane. Let's put it down here. Let's make it a little bit big like this. Yeah. Okay, let's add a rigid body collider to it. Okay, because when you're breaking objects, you want to see the dynamics inside. Okay, so you go to simulation and we add the collider body. So now this object right here is a collider body, and in order to for this collider to collide with this object, we need to add what we call the rigid body to also the Voronoi fracture. Okay, so we right click, go to simulation and add the rigid body. Now this object has rigid body, so when you play it on our timeline, this is how it happens. Okay, you see what the fracture, the Voronoi fracture is doing is fracturing your object, is breaking your object into pieces. Okay, into so many pieces. Okay, so that is one of the tools in the mograph system. You can use this to create very realistic and beautiful renders. Okay, you can use this to create something like a glass breaking. Okay, a glass hitting the floor and breaking. So let's just create a glass material for it, and then we'll demonstrate what we mean to it. Okay, so we take the material window, we double click to create another material, we put it on the Voronoi fracture, we open it. We don't need color because we want to create glass. We need transparency, and already glass is set for us. Reflectance, I don't need a default specular, so I'll remove it. I'll add a Beckman shader on it, and I will take the roughness down to 0. I'll come here to the layer Fresnel and change it to dielectric and choose glass. Okay, now I have my glass shader. Okay, so when I render, I'll have glass shader, but I don't have any lights in my scene, so this is what it will look like. It will look this ugly, and it takes a long time to render glass because of the calculations that it will do. Okay, okay, so you see we have the glass. Let's add a light. Let's just add one light, this light, and let's choose the shadow to soft mask because I want it to render a little bit faster. Okay, so now we have our glass with shadows, and we have our fractured glass. Okay, so you can animate this, and because when it's at 0 and you render, you have your complete glass. Okay, you have your complete glass. You see the shatters inside, so the light is trying to penetrate. So, and then when it falls like this, it breaks, and then you have your object that is being broken. So that is some of the things inside the mograph mograph tool set. The Voronoi fracture is one of the tools inside the mograph tool set. We have the cloner, which we've already talked about. So that is also inside the mograph tool set. And we have another tool inside the mograph tool set called the extrude. It's also one of the tools you can use to create beautiful extrusions. So let's demonstrate. Let's delete all this. Okay, we have the extrude there. Let's create a sphere. Let's create a sphere. And let's display the lines. Okay, I don't want the top here to be like this, because so I want to change it to here, the hexahedron. I want to have quads. Okay, now with a extrude, you have to make it a child of the object. Okay, so when we make it a child of the object, you see how the extrude is looking like. Okay, the step is extruding all the polygons separately. Okay, so you can use it to create like beautiful extrusions, beautiful motion graphics, and all that. Okay, you can even use to per step, and you assign the steps that it creates. Okay, you can even use it from root, which is the default one. You can even use it only on a certain selection that you want it. So let's say if this sphere is an editable sphere, okay, and I want to, let's hide this extrude. Let me take my selection tool, go to and select maybe a certain part of here. With this selection, then I go to select menu here, the select, and I want to set to this selection. I want to save this selection. Okay, so I come here and I store the selection. You see, it creates a selection tag here. This is my stored selection. Okay, so let's go back to the object mode, and with the extrude, if I want to affect that selection, I can drag that selection inside it, and it will affect only that selection that was selected on my sphere. Okay, so this extrude, this is one of the generators or the effect system inside the mograph system. You can use it to create beautiful mograph animations and beautiful renders. Okay, so this is all about the mograph system. We will dive more into it in our project course when we start building the project works in Cinema 4D. So thank you, and see you in the next video.